to drop some absolute gems on leadership and how to lead in opposition. So I'm not going to take any more of his time. I'm going to let him get on here. And Mr. Weathersby, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We're so honored to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. And you can go ahead and take it away.
Well, once again, thank you, Graceland, for having me tonight. It's an honor just to come and share about what it means to lead in a moment of crisis. Many of us understand that, like George said, nobody would have ever predicted that at January 1st, 2020, we would be in this place at this time. And yet we see not only that we're navigating a pandemic, but we're navigating a social revolution in our country and around the world with Black Lives Matter and killing of innocent black men on the hand of police. And regardless of what side we play politically or socially, regardless if we live in an urban area, suburban area, each of us have an opportunity to lead during this time. We have an opportunity to maximize what I like to call our sphere of influence during this season and during this time. So once again, thank you for the opportunity to share my heart when it comes to leadership. I'm the president of Lead One LLC, and one of our main focuses in our company is to empower individuals to lead in the various seasons of their life. So regardless if you're watching tonight and you're a young person, maybe between the ages of 18 and 30, I pray that this word impacts you and transforms your life. Maybe you're watching this and you're a little more seasoned. You might be a parent. You might be a grandparent. I'm not sure who's all watching tonight, but each of us has a sphere of influence. Each of us has an opportunity to impact people. I guarantee you that there are individuals that you have a chance to wake up tomorrow morning and impact that I'll never come in contact with. So hopefully when we leave tonight, you have a couple of tools in your toolbox, if you will, that have you more equipped to lead confidently during these chaotic times. So the first thing I want to make sure we understand is the importance of environment. Regardless of where you work or where you go to school, environment is so important. So for example, as an assistant principal, I take much pride in making sure that students and staff have the best, safest environment possible to reach their fullest potential. That is extremely important because not only do I want to feel safe, but I want to make sure they feel safe. So if you're on the call tonight, I want to have you ask yourself the question: how can I impact the environment where I work, the environment in my home, the environment in my school, the environment in my community? You no longer have to wait to have a certain title to be a leader in our society. Our different protests are showing that we have people raising up and rising up throughout our communities, and they're not waiting to be asked. They're not waiting for their turn. The baton is being passed, and I hope that each and every one of us, regardless of our season of life, is prepared to answer the call and pick up that baton and lead in a way that impacts your community in the best, most effective way possible. So let's focus on the environment in which we are in. So that is unique for each and every one of you watching tonight, but never underestimate the power of creating an environment where individuals can come together. I think we understand that in our world today, so many people are quick to jump on social media. They're quick to jump on different platforms and hope to become a leader in that way. And that is one of the ways that we can gain a platform. But I challenge you, don't focus solely on social media to make an impact. Don't focus solely on your Twitter account or your IG account to project a certain image. I think we live in a day and age where I know personally for me, I want to make sure that my public persona only matches my private persona, if that makes sense. As a husband of 15 years and a proud father of 2, at the end of the day, if what people see on my social media accounts, if you follow at Lead One LLC, hopefully that's just a glimpse of the man that I am behind closed doors. Hopefully that's just a glimpse of the man I am when my children speak of me or when my queen speaks of me. That is what I hope each of us learn to aspire to as leaders, creating that environment, creating that structure where not only you can prosper, but all those who come around you can prosper. All those who are in your sphere of influence are stronger because you're there. They're more equipped because you're there. They're more powerful and more confident because you are there leading them. Informally or formally, whether you have a title or don't have a title, I need you to understand like never before, this is your season. So you don't have to ask for permission to be a leader. The environment is ripe for all of us to lead and for all of us to lead effectively. The next thing I want to make sure we understand is the importance of leading from a servant's heart. I firmly pride myself on the reality that I will never ask a staff member or a student to do anything that personally I'm not willing to roll up my sleeves and do. So many times when people become leaders and they get a platform, they get big-headed and they start going about saying who can serve me, who can cater to me, who can meet my needs. And my job and my challenge to you this evening is don't be that person. Don't be that leader. Don't micromanage the people around you. Once again, what we're noticing like never before is people are ready to jump in. They're ready to get involved. With remote learning as an assistant principal, I've learned very quickly that my staff had more capacity than I understood. My students were more resilient than I gave them credit. They were able to navigate remote learning independently in their households. They made it happen, and we were resilient, we were confident, we finished the school year successfully. So one thing I'm learning is as we go into the fall, as we go through the summer and prepare for the fall, the people under my sphere of influence, 150 teachers, 2,300 students, they can do more than I gave them credit. So my challenge individually as a leader is how can I learn to equip them and empower them and let them go and let them grow and let them assume their rightful roles in leadership, whether it's student leaders at school, whether it's teachers that I can relinquish opportunities and responsibilities to. Me being a leader, the most effective leader I can possibly be is empowering others to also be leaders. Some people would say maybe I'm trying to work myself out of a job, and maybe that's true. But I truly believe that it's most important and I'm most effective as a leader when I'm equipping others, when I'm empowering others, when I'm making sure others are working towards their strengths and not just their weaknesses. How am I putting people in a position to be successful in a moment of crisis? Because there's too much to be done by just one person. There's too much to be done by me, micromanaging and checking on each and every person throughout the day and throughout the week and throughout the month and throughout the year. I have to relinquish control. I have to learn to let go. We have to learn to let go. So whether you're the leader in the room and you're like, aha, that makes sense. Or maybe you're the person where people over you have put their thumb on you and have micromanaged you and you're frustrated and you're upset. My challenge to you for those who are leading and those being led, too many times we're trying to be leaders when we haven't learned how to follow. I'll say that again. Too many people are trying to be leaders when they've never learned how to follow, when they've never learned how to take instruction and be led. So if you're a leader, all leaders are still being led by someone. I have a senior principal, I have a superintendent, I have a board of education. All leaders have to learn to be led. And the best leaders have learned to be the best followers. So don't get caught up in titles. Don't get caught up in positions. when it comes to leadership, roll up your sleeves, be willing to get involved, be willing to be connected, and be willing to empower others. It's not about your ego. It's not about your accomplishments. All that will come. If you empower others, the accomplishments will come. The promotions will come. Because when you empower others and they understand that you have their best interests in mind, guess what? They will work harder. They will work longer. They will be more focused. They will be more attentive. So focused on being a good leader. So we talked about environment. We talked about servant leadership. And at the end of the day, the people need to know that you care. It's a saying I always live by for the last 17 years. People can care less how much you know until they know how much you care. So make sure they understand that you care about them, not just what they can produce, but also you care about what they're going through. Personally, for me, in the last 3 months, it's been crazy. In the last 3 months, God has opened up more doors, speaking opportunities. I'm in the process of collaborating on several different book opportunities. God has been moving in a phenomenal way, but that's come with some brokenness. That's come with some death in the family, and things of that nature. So while God has been using me, God has also been keeping me. And I only say that to say, if God is keeping me and allowing me to navigate different issues and situations in my life, then he's also working in the lives of those I'm leading. And he's also providing the strength that they need and the security they need. And many times as a leader, he will allow me to be the vessel he uses to directly impact them. So once again, as a leader, it's not about you. It's about the people you lead. So learn to listen. Don't be so quick to talk. Don't be so quick to let your point be made when you're not hearing the heart of the people you're leading. It's very important because they know. People know, and if you're just waiting so that you can talk, or people know that you're listening because you actually care. So leadership is an ever-evolving opportunity. There's no such thing as a perfect leader. Each and every day you're going to make mistakes. Each and every day you're going to need to humble yourself. You're going to need to ask for forgiveness. You're going to mess up at times, but learn from your mistakes. There's nothing worse than a leader who can't admit when they've messed up. There's nothing worse than a leader that won't admit that they're not perfect. So humble yourself, because you're going to make mistakes. But learn from those mistakes. Do not keep on repeating the same mistakes over and over, because those under your leadership will get tired of that. That is not acceptable. Mistakes, yes. Continually making those same mistakes, we got to learn. We got to do better. So I'm excited for each and every person that is watching tonight. I'm excited that God has you here for a reason. God has you listening to each of us as panelists, share our hearts, share our passions to equip you. Because there are people, once again, in your sphere of influence that I'll never meet. There are people in your sphere of influence that I'll never come in contact with. So I need you to be who God has called you to be. Don't replicate me. Don't replicate any other panelist. Be who God has knit you together to be, like he talks about in Psalms 139. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. So walk in that. Walk in that authority. Walk in that power. Walk in your calling. And if you can be the person he's uniquely created you to be, then the world will be a much better place. And each and every person you come in contact with will be better off because they've met you. So be a blessing. Be who God has called you to be. And if I can be of any resource in that journey, then you let me know. So once again, thank you, Graceland, for this opportunity to share my heart, my passion to equip the next generation of leaders. God bless everybody.
Oh my goodness. Wow, Mr. Weathersby. Yo. Let me tell you, this was my assistant principal, okay, in high school. I got an example. And my father passed away when I was 14.
Yeah.
15. So I got an example of what, a man is supposed to be. Like,
Amen.
it's such a great example.
Thank you.
Of a man, honestly. And for him to say that, it's only God that I'm here right now,
Yeah.
right there is the purest form of, what our heart posture. Like, that's a heart posture. God, thank you for allowing me to yield to your Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And it's an honor to be a child of God.
Definitely.
And I think that you reminded us of that tonight, because it's important to lead, yes, but you also mentioned how if you can't be led, then
Yeah.
why we're looking to be leaders.
Yep.
You have to be able to be shepherd and steward everything that you have well, everything that God's given you. And I think we're looking for authority, but we're not looking to be, controlled or like,
Right.
we're not willing to yield to
Yes.
what God really has.
Yes.
And man, I think, yes, under authority, somebody commented submission. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Submission.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm trying to. Can you see both of us? Can you guys see both of us? Yeah. Okay. Good. So yeah, I think that's so good, Mr. Weathersby. Thank you so much.
No problem.
That really allowed me to catch my breath. Inhaling that, not only being a leader, but being able to submit to leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And you have been that example in my life of, okay,
Amen.
I can follow this leader, and I'm comfortable, and you've humbled yourself under the authority of Jesus.
Thank you.
I thank you. Okay, thank you. So you guys, we're just going to navigate, switch gears. I appreciate you, Mr. Weathersby, again for
No
coming
problem.
on.
Thank you.
Like I said, everybody's tags will be in an email coming after this conference, so you'll be able to follow Mr. Weathersby. Thank you.
All right.